Yesterday I made this video, and in the spirit of holding Chappell accountable, I want to hold myself accountable as well. So I want to talk about a couple things that I wish I had said a little bit differently in that video. The first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that I have very black and white thinking. I am autistic, and when I get into my sense of justice, I unfortunately do tend to go back into that. It is something that I work on, I have been working on, but it does slip out sometimes, especially when I get very heated about something. And I was very heated about that yesterday. So I do honestly regret a lot of the black and white thinking that was going on in that video, especially with me talking about her throwing everyone under the bus and all of that, and that kind of language that I was using. I wish I had taken a little bit of time to sit with that before I started talking about it. I also did cut a section of the video that was a little bit more nuanced because I didn't think I was saying exactly what I wanted to in that moment, and I wanted to get my video out, and that was on me, honestly. The second thing that I wanted to talk about, and that I really wish that I had clarified in the video, and honestly, when I make these kind of videos from now on, I'm going to write down like my thoughts and feelings before, so I have bullet points so I can remember exactly what I want to say, because when I get in that headspace, like I said, I get very like hyper focused and tunnel vision. I don't always remember everything I want to say. In the video, at some point, I said she's aligning herself with being a white person, and I wish I had gone in on that a little bit more and explained exactly what I meant. And I'm going to now explain what I meant by that. And what I meant by that is that she is aligning herself, from my perspective, with the comments that she said. She is aligning herself with the privilege of what it means to be a white person in this country. It is a privilege to get to, first of all, have access to wealth the way that she does. It's also a privilege to be able to say, you know, I don't have the time to look at politics, which is what rubbed me like the wrong way, and why I made that video, because to me, if you're a queer person, you should be looking at politics. They will affect you. And as a white queer person, it's a privilege to be able to look away from that stuff. The black and brown folks in our community don't necessarily have the privilege to be able to look away from all of the things going on in this country. And so that's something I wish I had touched on a little bit more. I also thought at some point I said it, but I guess I didn't. And that's another reason why I want to make this little follow-up thing, is that I know that she's human. I know that people make mistakes, but I also think it is important to be like, hey, maybe check your privilege, maybe check all of this stuff, and be able to reflect on that. She has done great things for the community. She has brought awareness to different things. I think for me, it was just a little jarring to see her backtrack a little bit in saying the things that she did. So yeah, it definitely wasn't meant to be a hate video at all. It was more of like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Like that kind of feeling, and I don't think it necessarily came off that way, even though in the moment I thought I was coming off that way. Looking at it after posting, I'm like, oh no, that didn't come off the way I fucking wanted to at all. And like I said, sometimes it's a little bit harder for me to figure out how I'm coming off, and I'll definitely in the future, if I make a video like this again where I think I am, you know, calling someone out for behavior I don't like, sit with it a little bit more, figure out exactly what I wanted to say, and then do it in a little bit more eloquent of a way, a little bit more nuanced, not as black and white thinking. And that's something that I want to work on, which is why I'm making this video and letting y'all know that's something that's going to be happening in the future of the videos that I make, because I do read comments. I like seeing other people's opinions and all of that. I do stand behind what I said. However, I wish I had said it in a slightly better way. I do think that, you know, she's, you know, young. I'm young as well. And I think it's important to learn from your mistakes, hear what other people have to say, and, you know, grow from that, learn from that. Which is why, you know, I'm happy I made the video, and I'm happy I'm making this follow-up video. It was never about hating on her, because most of the hate that she gets is stupid, and I did say that in the video as well. Um, it's just this particular thing, it came off as, to me personally, very privileged, very almost like white feministy, which is why I wanted to call it out, because you know it's important. Like, to me, is important to check privilege, and it's something that I try to do in my life, and out from the people that I follow, I want to see the same thing. So I hope this clarifies that a little bit. I promise the next time I make that kind of video, I'll sit with my emotions first, I'll write it out, and have someone else look over it before before I post it. But yeah, it was never like a hate thing with her. It was more like, Chappell, what are you doing?